We know that protectionism is not good for international trade. Through this video, we will try and look at few historic events and try and understand why protectionism is not good for international trade. To understand relation between protectionism and international trade, we have to look into the past. Specifically, events starting from First World War. After that, we will try and understand economic conditions during 1920s in USA, Great Depression, World War II, and then era of golden age in US. All of us know that during First World War, Allied powers comprising of Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, Romania, Japan, and the United States defeated Central powers which comprised of Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire. More than 16 million soldiers and civilians lost their lives during the war. After First World War, USA became a huge industrial nation, and during 1920 to 1929, US economy expanded rapidly and the nation's total wealth more than doubled during this period. Electrification, mass production of goods due to technological progress, mass marketing techniques, availability of cheap credit, and increased employment created a huge amount of consumers. This period is also known as US Roaring Twenties. Due to increase in demand, manufacturing also increased. Companies started looking for more capital. Therefore, more credit firms emerged in addition to investment banks and stock market. To keep the market sentiments going, Republican president during 1920s lowered taxes, which meant business had more money to invest and public had more money to spend. Now, with more goods being produced within America, government imposed tariffs on imported goods so that American product would be bought by consumers. Due to rapid industrialization, unemployment dropped from 11.9 million in 1921 to 3.2 million in 1929. Period from 1920 to 1929 saw massive economic growth in America that by 1928, 1 in 6 Americans had car, and the number of airline passengers grew from less than 6,000 in 1926 to approximately 173,000 in 1929. Along with the brighter side of US roaring, there also was the flip side. 1920 also was a decade of poverty. More than 60% of Americans lived just below the poverty line. 33% of nation's income was with the 5% of the wealthiest class in America. This income equality was increasing year by year. Since American government had imposed tariffs to promote domestically manufactured goods, other countries retaliated by imposing tariff on American goods. Though American markets were flooded with goods, but these expensive goods were not affordable to the masses. People belonging to the middle class tried to save their money by reducing spending, due to which even more goods in the market went unsold. Demand for goods started decreasing, which led to closing of factories and sudden withdrawal of investment. With profits falling down, workforce had to be cut, which resulted in increasing poverty and fueling a negative economic cycle. During 20s, stock prices were much higher than their actual value. Consumer debt was proliferating. The agricultural sector of the economy was struggling due to drought and falling food prices. Banks had an excess of large loans that could not be liquidated. Due to these factors, the American economy entered a mild recession during the summer of 1929. Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act was introduced in 1929. This law implemented protectionist trade policies in the United States. Due to increased tariff, trade between nations plummeted for several years. Among all the adverse conditions, stock prices continued to rise, and by the fall of that year, had reached stratospheric levels which could not be justified by expected future earnings. Finally, in October 1929, stock market crashed and resulted in onset of Great Depression. Similarly, if we try and look at economic scenario in Europe after First World War, most of the countries faced horrible consequences of the Great War. Majority of the surviving population had lost their jobs. Government did not have enough resources for reconstruction. US was the prime exporter at the time and was supplying Europe with almost all commodities, basic and advanced. European government had taken loan from American bank which they could not pay them back, and one after other started defaulting on them. American banks had no option but to stop giving out loans. This brought US purchasing power even further down. Due to less funds in hands, imports from US decreased, setting the scene for Great Depression. Due to the stock market crash of 1929, there was panic among the banks, which resulted in monetary contractions. There also was decrease in international lending and high tariff for trade between countries. To improve the economic scenario during that time, a lot of policy reforms were undertaken in 1933, which focused on economy, the banks, and the farmers. Due to such initiatives, Great Depression ended with World War II, which was fought from 1939 to 1945, in which Great Britain, France, Soviet Union, and United States, China, and other allies defeated Germany, Italy, and Japan. American industry was revitalized by the war, as many sectors were oriented for defense production by 1945. After Second World War, Bretton Woods Conference was held from July 1st to 22nd, 1944 in Bretton Woods, the New Hampshire, which was attended by delegates from 44 nations who agreed upon series of new rules for the post-World War II international monetary system. Free trade was looked upon as a mechanism to not only promote international prosperity, but also international peace. Policies like high tariff barriers, competitive currency devaluations, discriminatory trading blocks, which were adopted by government to combat the Great Depression, were ineffective and contribute to creating an unstable international environment without improving the economic situation. This experience led international leaders to conclude that economic cooperation was the only way to achieve both peace and prosperity at home and abroad. IMF and IBRD officially came into existence on December 27, 1945. It was also proposed to form third organization, International Trade Organization, or ITO, which could not finally take shape as the charter for its formation was not ratified by US Senate. In 1947, General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, a free trade agreement was signed between 23 countries to eliminate tariffs and increase international trade. Continued efforts in this direction led to the formation of World Trade Organization, which came into existence on 1st January 1995. After Second World War and Great Depression, and also the policy reforms, real GDP rose by almost 169% between 1948 and 1973, which is also known as golden age of US economy. During this period, employment increased by 75%, manufacturing jobs by 30%, while per capita personal income almost doubled. Thus, economic growth and protectionism cannot go hand in hand. Nations should look forward to fair, free, and sustainable economic growth. And with this objective, WTO was set up to ensure that all member countries ensure in free and fair trade. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos on various agreements of WTO. For any queries, you can write to me at alkamya@gmail.com.